Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about what are pollen grains. So the pollen grains represent the male gametophyte, that means it is the male gametophyte of any plant. The variety of architecture, size, shape, color, design seen in the pollen grains of different species. So we will find different type of color, different type of shapes and different type of design and size in pollen grains of different species. Now these are some scanning electron microscope structure of a pollen grain. So in this we can easily understand that these pollen grains are of different shape and size. When we observe the structure of a pollen grain, then we come to know that they are basically spherical and their size is about 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. It has a prominent two-layer wall. That means it contains two walls, the outer one and the inner one. So the hard outer layer is called the exine and it is basically made up of sporopollenin. And this sporopollenin is the most resistant organic material known. Now it can withstand high temperature and strong acid and alkali. So if any material is covered with sporopollenin, then it can easily withstand with high temperature and strong acid and strong bases or alkalis. So no enzyme that degrade sporopollenin is so far known. So still we don't have any type of enzyme that can digest or that can degrade the sporopollenin. Now pollen grains exine has prominent aperture called the germ pore. So in a pollen grain, we have a prominent pore that we call the germ pore where the sporopollenin is absent. So pollen grains are well preserved as the fossil because of the presence of sporopollenin. And just because this sporopollenin is present on the pollen grains, so they can be preserved as the fossil. The exine exhibit the fascinating array of pattern and design. So when we observe the external structure of a exine, then we come to know that it has a specific pattern and design. The inner wall of the pollen grain is called the intine. It is a thin and continuous layer made up of cellulose and pectin. So the outer layer is made up of sporopollenin and the inner layer, which we call the intine, is made up of cellulose and pectin. The cytoplasm of the pollen grain is surrounded by a plasma membrane. So whatever the plasma membrane is there inside the pollen grain, it will cover the cytoplasm. Now when the pollen grains are mature, it contains two cells, the vegetative cell and the generative cell. So whenever we are observing the structure of any pollen grain, we will observe after maturing they contains two type of cell. First is the vegetative cell and second is the generative cell. In this diagram we can easily understand the upper one, which is the vegetative cell, it is the bigger one, and the lower, which is smallest in size, it is generative cell. So the vegetative cell is bigger and has abundant food reserve and a large irregular shaped nucleus. The generative cell is small and floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. So as we seen in this diagram, now in over 60% of the angiosperm, pollen grains are shed at this two-celled stage. That means in over 60% of the angiosperm, whenever the pollen grains are shedded, they are containing two-cell stage. In the remaining species, the generative cell divide mitotically to give rise to the two male gametes before pollen grain are shedded. That means three-celled stage. So in 60% two-cell stage is there, and in 40%, remaining 40%, three-cell stage can be seen in the pollen grain whenever they are shedded. Now what are the harmful effects of pollen grains? So the pollen grains of many species cause severe allergies and bronchial affections in some people. That means basically they are causing the allergies and bronchial affections and often leading to the chronic respiratory disorders like asthma bronchitis, etc. So it may cause allergy and bronchial affections, and also it can cause asthma and bronchitis. Now it may be mentioned that the Parthenium, that we also call the carrot grass, has come in India as the condiment with imported wheat. That means when we was importing the wheat, at that time it was come to India as a condiment and has become ubiquitous in occurrence and cause pollen allergy. So when we was importing the wheat, at that time it came to India as a condiment, and now it is spread all over there, and it is causing severe pollen allergy. Now what are the use of pollen grains? Now, just because pollen grains are rich in nutrient, it has become a fashion in recent years to use pollen tablet as a food supplement. So, in recent years, so many of people are using the pollen tablets as a food supplements. In Western countries, a large number of pollen products in the form of tablet and syrups are available in market. Now, pollen consumption has been claimed to increase the performance of athlete and race horses. So just because these containing so many of nutrient, it is also claimed that when we are consuming these pollen products, then it will increase our performance. So it will act as a steroid, it is claimed. Now these are some pollen products which are available in the market. Now viability of pollen grains. For how long the pollen grains can be viable in nature? So when once pollen grains are shedded, pollen grains have to land on the stigma before they lose viability if they have to bring about fertilization. So if we want that the pollen grain will perform the fertilization, so for this process, first of all, it is important that it has to land on the stigma of the flower. Now, the period for which pollen grains remain viable is highly variable and to some extent depends on the prevailing temperature and humidity. That means for how long these pollen grains will viable, it depends on the temperature and humidity which is present in the environment. Now, in some cereals such as the rice and wheat, pollen grains lose viability within 30 minutes of their release. That means when we observe the viability of pollen grains which are produced in rice and wheat, then we will come to know that they will lose their viability within 30 minutes after their shedding. And in some members of Rosaceae, Leguminosae, and the Solanaceae, they maintain viability for a month. That means for a month they can easily viable. Now the way we are storing semen, sperms of many animals, including the humans, for artificial insemination, it is possible to store pollen grains of a large number of species for a year in liquid nitrogen minus 96 degrees centigrade. That means just like we are preserving different type of organic matter in liquid nitrogen like sperms and semens for artificial insemination, similarly, we can store or we can preserve the pollen grains in liquid nitrogen, which has a temperature of minus 196 degrees centigrade. Now, such stored pollen grain can be used as a pollen bank, similar to the seed bank in crops breeding program. So, just like we are using different type of crops for production in crop breeding, similarly, we can use the pollen grain for the other purpose. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.